Hey guys, and welcome to my book video review of The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This book isn't particularly new. It was published a few years ago, I think around 2014, and it gained a lot of popularity after a lot of people enjoyed Gone Girl, and these two being psych thrillers in the adult genre. A lot of people decided to give this one a try because they were sort of looking at what Gone Girl had to offer, and this sort of seemed to be in the same genre. So this book is told in dual perspectives of three ladies, but mainly from the character Rachel. Rachel she's not a very likable character. She's a raging alcoholic who seems to be grieving from leaving her husband, or from, my cat is meowing a lot. She seems to be grieving from her husband leaving her for another woman. She basically always takes the 8:04 train into London and just even gets her little bottle of gin, and she just basically just lives her life like this every little day. A sad life. But since she takes the same train every single day, she sort of just looks out the window and is familiar with looking at the same people in the same houses, and there's one house that she's particularly fond of, and she always seems to see these two happy couples that she nicknamed Jess and Jason. So one day she actually gets to see something happen, and it sort of evolves into this mystery and her being like this alcoholic detective that nobody really seems to trust. This book is also told from the girl who lives in the house that Rachel is very fond of, who she basically nicknamed Jess. We get to also see her take on what is happening in her life and etc. And the third woman's point of view is the woman who is currently married to Rachel's ex-husband. So these three women are they're sort of related to Rachel in one way or the other, and I feel like it's very interesting to see how their paths come across and whatnot, and I found it very interesting that it wasn't told from one point of view. Every person has their own point of view on things, every person has their own ideas about things, and sometimes the story is told from the different ladies' perspectives, and so it's told sort of differently. So as a reader, you get to think about who you really want to believe, who is trustworthy. Everyone has their own little crazy, so whose story are you going to believe? So I found that very engaging and very interesting, and also added a lot to the mystery aspect of the story. So as this mystery continues on, it is not very obvious, so I really enjoyed that. The twist was very interesting. It wasn't like your typical thriller that that it was kind of obvious, but it wasn't obvious in a very understanding way. Everything made sense and everything tied together. What I really most liked about this book was definitely the characters. They weren't likable, but they were very realistic, and they were very dynamic, and you got to see a different side of the character from the different perspectives, and this is sort of how it is in real life, because each person has a different point of view about this certain character or that certain person. I gave this book actually, I don't really know what I gave this book. I think it's around a 4.5 to 5 stars. It wasn't mind-blowing, so that's why I'm very iffy about giving 5 stars to books, but it was very enjoyable and I really enjoyed it. So I think I will stick to a 4.5. It was almost there, but it wasn't something that just wowed me and like made me close the book and like stare it off for like 5 seconds or more. I'm really looking forward to more books, as after, again, I read Gone Girl, and then my sister told me this one was very similar, so I decided to give it a try, and it was very interesting as well. So yes, if you guys enjoyed this review, please comment down below. Let me know what you think if you've read this book. What was the most enjoyable moments? If you haven't read it, comment down below and let me know if you do plan on reading it. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. So yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!